Backpacking food. So it's one of those things where you need something to fuel your body, and usually what I end up using is I end up rehydrating food and just cooking it in the bag, be it a Mountain House meal or a freezer bag meal. And so today we'll be talking about the non-freezer bag meals, or food that you actually make while on the trail. And so my number one thing that I look for when I'm making food on the trail is it has to be quick, easy, and it has to be mobile. And so for this, I kind of thought, okay, so what do I use number one? And I didn't want to be disingenuous with this. I wanted to think about exactly what I would use, because honestly, I'm not going to carry a stove and steak or Alfredo or something where even if you assemble it in a bag, something where I'm actually cooking. I use a lot of Mountain House meals, rehydrated stuff, and as well as I use a lot of no-cook. So I figured let's talk about my no-cook type meals. And the base for a lot of my no-cook meals, even though it's heavy, is the good old tortilla. Now, I know lots of people, and those of you guys know this already, is that this just makes for a quick and easy meal. The number one thing I use in tortillas, it ends up being peanut butter. Sometimes I'll actually pre-make tortilla and peanut butter wraps before I go. It's just such an easy boost in energy. If you combine the tortilla, which is all that carbs, and you combine it with peanut butter, which is fantastic, and healthy fats and protein, you usually see I get these natural Jif to go packets. Now the packets I get, of course, if I'm bringing it from over multiple days, just becomes easier in terms of being able to manage your daily amount of food rather than carrying a jar of peanut butter. I'm not taking any long through hikes at this point, and so that's what I tend to go with. But something I use to jazz up the peanut butter a little bit is actually honey. And now I have to tell you to be cautious with honey. It's one of those things where it adds a nice boost of flavor to a peanut butter and tortilla wrap, but it leaks everywhere. You don't think it will leak. You think to yourself, okay, I'm going to put a little bit of honey in this peanut butter tortilla, and you're going to fold it up nicely and put it into a freezer bag and zip it up, and it will leak through a Ziploc bag. Honey is one of those, like I call it, honey is one of those insidious things where it will just slowly leak through everything, and it will get everything in your entire food bag sticky if you aren't careful with it. So how do I know this? I learned the very hard way with dealing with honey while on the trail. Is it did exactly what I just described, and it just is a mess. That was one food bag where I was definitely terrified that I was going to run into a bear or some sort of animal would try to get at my pack. Luckily, it's inside of the food bag, and I hung that up every night, but still it was one of those things that I felt like I was baiting animals. A variation of the honey, and I've shown you guys before, is I actually have used honey straws before, and so you don't have to worry about it leaking, and I can just kind of cut one open with my knife and put it on my tortilla wrap while I'm on the move. And so right away, that's where the tortilla comes in super handy, is just being mobile. I don't like just sitting and having an extended meal. My stomach will get upset if I, for example, have something big while I'm on the go. If I have a huge breakfast or a huge lunch, I typically don't stop when I'm out backpacking. It's something mobile. I eat while I walk, or if I take a stop to eat, it's something pretty light. So that's just a personal preference. Maybe you're a little different. So this was a fun collaboration with some excellent YouTubers who you guys have to check out in the video description below, and they are much better chefs than me. I totally cheated. It's just not my style of backpacking, but I want you to make sure you watch these guys as they put together their creations. They go out there and they have a way of making sure that they don't give up a whole lot of creature comforts when it comes to food, and they have some fantastic creations that they use. I know Devin, for example, uses a fry bake. I know the Schill brothers dehydrates their own meals, and I'm curious to see what they're going to end up doing. And lots of others. There are too many to name right now, but they're down in the description below. Be sure to go and check them out. Tell them I sent you, and make sure you give them a hard time when they reveal their fantastic creations, and I just went with a simple tortilla wrap. But what do you guys do? What do you guys do when you're on the trail? Are you more like me, where you're kind of get fuel in your body and go? Are you more of a relaxed, take it easy? You want to set up camp, you want to cook over the campfire, you bring heavier food, but you have arguably a better time eating than I do? Let me know down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.